All right, I'm giving up on live. It just keeps bumping us off. So
Okay.
I just took it down. We'll just record it
Yeah,
and
that's
edit it.
fine.
Otherwise I keep doing it. Tried to start twice, but I just went in and took it down. So it doesn't like confuse people. Like there's no live. All right, hang on. Let me make sure it's recording and we'll start it this way. And then I'll edit one for Facebook and one for LinkedIn.
Okay.
All right, on your mark, get set, go. Hello, everyone out in social media land. Hope everyone's doing well. I am excited because I love the opportunity to speak with other professionals in the Central Florida market, especially in the real estate related industry. And Traci Sihle is our guest today. How are you doing, Traci?
I'm doing great. Thanks. How are you?
I'm very well. Now, many people that are connected with me on Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram, they already know you because you're a rock star here in Central Florida in the insurance business, residential and commercial. But for those maybe two people that haven't had the opportunity to meet you yet, could you tell us a little bit about what Sihle Insurance does and your role there?
Yeah, absolutely. And, thanks for giving me the opportunity, first of all, to do this with you. I really appreciate it. So, Sihle Insurance Group, we're just, a family owned agency for 47 years now, believe it or not. My dad started it in 1974 with one employee. And now we've grown to be one of the largest family owned insurance agencies in the whole state of Florida. We actually have 9 locations now throughout Florida. We just added our new office in Brickell, and we have 150 employees, 70 producers, and we represent over 200 carriers. Wow. So we're really proud of him. And he still comes to the office every morning for a few hours. Wow. At 87 years old. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. How fun. That's great though. What a great accomplishment. And now I see you everywhere. I see you online. I see you at functions, at events. Truly, can't think of anyone that's more dialed in and more gives back more to the real estate community at large and to your clients, right? Was that by design? I mean, I know you work with some of the area's top real estate agents. They refer all of their clients to you for their insurance needs. Was that always a strategy that you or your father, for that matter, had to kind of work with industry professionals?
Yeah, so it's funny because, when I came on board, gosh, it's been a long time. Our personal lines department, the home and auto, was basically just an accommodation to our commercial lines department. And so we really didn't make much money off of it, I'll be honest with you. And then we, saw that there was a need to educate, especially realtors with their buyers and sellers. And we had this beautiful conference room in our Altamont Springs office. And I just thought, this is a great way to bring realtors to see our beautiful building, learn who we are, because many people didn't know we do home, auto, life, health, and business insurance all under one house. They did not know that. And what I would do was invite all these realtors to educational classes. And I do a little, 10-minute, intro about our company and talk about important topics. And they love that because you're adding value back to their job. And this value is crucial for them to pass on to their buyers and sellers, or they could lose a deal. Yeah. So we kind of ended up, partnering with some of the biggest real estate companies out there. We have Coldwell Banker, Keller Williams. We work with EXP, just to name a few. Kelly Price in Winter Park. So, it's been wonderful meeting all these amazing brokers and agents, because honestly, they're the ones that have been sending us so many referrals because they trust our company. They use us as a resource now. They call us with questions all the time, which I'm always happy to answer. Even on the weekends, they'll call me, "Hey, Traci, I've got a home with polybutylene plumbing. Can you insure it now?" And, they don't know the updates because nobody's educating them except for Sihle. So it's kind of our niche that I love doing, because it helps them close the deal. And this information, like I said, is so crucial for them to know, especially with all the new restrictions that have been going on. it's more important to know these restrictions and what can be insured and what can't.
Yeah. Yeah. You're seen as not a commodity, which is such a great key in any business, right? Is you're not seen as a commodity, but rather a trusted resource, a trusted advisor. Years ago, how I came to connect with you, and you probably don't know this because I didn't remind you of it recently. It was years ago. You were kind enough. I had been to one of your workshop seminars that was hosted at your facility there, which is a big, beautiful building right off of I-4. If people are watching and they've seen that Sihle building, and now they know where Traci is right at that building and her team. But I came to one of those, didn't know all the different types of insurance that you wrote. So you're exactly right. And then after that, like a week after that, I had a client that was moving in from out of state. I was in the mortgage side of the business, banking. And you were kind enough yourself to spend some time with this woman on the phone and answer some questions. And she wasn't even a client of yours yet at that point. So you really take a lot of time to help people, which is really appreciated and why people love you guys so much. So you mentioned a couple of things. I always wanted to bring something of value, to your point, to the audience. There's changes all the time. And like you said, it's not the real estate agent or the mortgage person or whoever is involved in the transaction. They don't have the time, nor should they try to become an insurance expert like yourself that's keeping up with all the updates and things that are going on and the news and new updates to policies. Anything you want to share? You mentioned poly pipes. So I know that's always a hot topic when I'm in real estate offices about, what can be covered and what cannot be covered. Anything that you'd like to share on that front?
Yeah, actually, we just came out with a new updated flyer that I'm passing around the real estate community and on social media, and it has all the updates with roofs, wiring, plumbing, AC, everything. So if you want one, I can be happy to send you one by email with a PDF, and we can actually customize them now with the realtor's information and picture at the bottom, which they love because then they can send it to the buyers and sellers. But the biggest change in restrictions right now is with roofs. So what we had some fraudulent roofing contractors coming through Central Florida and other parts of Florida, basically having the homeowner sign what's called the assignment of benefits, the AOB, which basically gives up the homeowner's right to the claims process. Then what they would do was inflate the cost to repair the roof. It may just have a small patch that needs to be replaced, but then they're telling, the insurance company, hey, the whole roof needs to get replaced. And then the insurance carrier would say, no, that's not correct. And then they get into these frivolous litigation suits that's cost the carriers millions and millions of dollars. So much so that they either have pulled out of certain counties, including Orange and Seminole County. We used to have 30 carriers plus that would insure Orange and Seminole County. We now have about 8 to 10 because of this. Wow. So it's really, it goes back to the homeowner. The homeowner, pay the price because now not only have premiums gone up, everyone's premiums gone up because of it, but now the carriers who have stayed have put tight restrictions on roof ages. And that's why you see all the roofers around town putting new roofs on houses, because for instance, for a house that's under 750,000, let's say the house is $500,000 and the roof is 21 years old, the only carrier that will insure it is an excess and surplus carrier. And if you have a buyer that has a loan and they're getting financing, the lender will not accept it. So the only other option is to replace the roof. So either the seller has to replace it or the buyer. And it's not cheap, as you know, to replace a tile roof. So these restrictions are real. It's happening all over Florida, actually. And it's making it our job tough. And what people, need to understand is we represent the client. Okay. We're representing the client's best interest. We don't have any say what the carriers do in this matter. So it's really something that we need to get Senate Bill 76 passed. Once that gets passed, it will put a cap on what these frivolous litigation lawsuits basically can sue up to, and hopefully correct some of the issues that have been going on. But the word that needs to spread out there is do not sign the assignment of benefits. Go through your insurance agent, let them handle it. Okay. So that's what we need to do. So,
And by the way, I will say on a personal note, I will share if someone's like, saw something about this on the news, because I know it's been kind of being talked about, right, more, and thinking, why would somebody be so, dense to sign over something so important as this assignment of benefits? Why would you like sign such a form and I did exactly this. It was years ago, but I still feel dumb that I did it looking back, because it's such a serious matter. But so how it comes across, Traci knows this, but for if you who might not have had experience with this, it comes across to you thinking as the client that it's going to save you time and hassle and like, oh, they're going to handle everything. So if you sign this form, they can speak on your behalf and be the go-between. And you're like, that sounds pretty good because I don't have time to mess with this. You're right. So it kind of, and then like I said, I guess in life, anything's about experience and kind of really understanding. Anything you sign is kind of important, right? To
yeah.
make sure you really understand it. So that's a
Yeah.
really, really good point. Yeah, if somebody, who would they talk to? Like, say if they're involved in this process, call their insurance carrier or
Mhm.
call, yeah,
Yeah,
in your case.
call us, the insurance agent. That's our job. We have a service department that can basically walk you through the process,
Got it.
and that's what we would do is just walk you through the process. We contact the carrier and get the ball rolling. And being family owned, I just want to point out we really care about you, the client. We are not some huge corporate hedge fund. A lot of hedge fund companies out there are buying up agencies our size, and it's just not the same. We're family owned. We care about the client. We want to make sure they're covered, which goes to my next point of make sure you're covered properly. A lot of these pop-up agencies are offering the cheapest price, especially when it comes to homeowners. And it kind of makes me cringe when I hear about it. Now we can offer the same price as them, but what are they doing? They're taking off important coverages,
Right.
and they're putting what's called actual cash value on these homes, not replacement cost. So the difference is huge. So an actual cash policy will factor in something called depreciation. So let's say you have a fire in your house and all your personal possessions burn down and they're worth, let's say, $50,000. Well, you're not going to get a check in the mail for $50,000. All your stuff has depreciated over the years, right? So you're going to get a fraction of that check versus replacement costs. You will get a check for what is cost to replace that item at today's cost. Huge difference. And let me tell you, a lot of these poor people, I feel so bad for them. They don't even know that the agent's putting actual cash value on the policy. They just look at the price and they're like, oh, this is way better than, this person down the road. I'm going to take this policy. They have no clue what they're getting. And we actually just got a ton of calls, basically with people with claims saying, we're not even covered. This is ridiculous. We want to move our insurance to Sihle because we know that you guys are going to do the right thing. And I think that's really goes with our reputation and branding. If you do the right thing over and over again for 47 years and you know that you're protecting the client, that word of mouth is going to pass to your neighbors, your family, your client. Everyone talks about that. So if you're always doing the right thing, I think that definitely creates that brand and that reputation that we have come to have now, and we're proud of.
Yeah, no, you're so right. It's why I always was a proponent and still am of asking real estate professionals for recommendations for service providers, even for handymen, let's just say, because I know if they work with that real estate agent consistently and often, they're not going to be likely to want to burn a bridge with me or do something that, off base with me, because that agent, right, will hear about it. So working local and working with certainly your local, you're still plenty large though. You guys are kind of the best of both worlds because you're local enough and family owned where people in the community and you have that one-on-one kind of customer service, but then you're also large enough to still provide all the great options that someone could get at any of the big box kind of companies. So yeah, it's really
absolutely.
kind of nice.
We're like that big small company. I don't know, we're still small. We like that personal touch, but we have 9 locations. But we don't want to grow too fast. We want to, keep it quality first. It's not about, commission in our pocket and making the sale. It's about making that customer happy even when they have a claim, which is not easy, but
No.
making them whole again, you know? So it's really all about protecting the client and what could be the biggest asset that they purchase in a lifetime, which is their home
Mm.
or a commercial building. So it's definitely very big deal to us.
That's serious stuff, right? Yeah, there's not
Yeah.
many things more serious. I used to say in the banking side, one of my little lines was, it's not life and death closing on your home, right? But it feels like it, because next to life and death and health, right? Your homestead, where you're going to raise your family and the roof over your head, is pretty darn important stuff. So yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
serious. Yeah. Okay, that said, I'm gonna keep watching the clock because I know you have to go here in a minute, but two quick questions. I had one. So tell me a little bit about your expansion down to South Florida on Brickell. I
Oh,
love me some
I am
Brickell.
so excited about that. I'm glad you brought that up. So my oldest son, his name's Alexander. He's been working in the cyber insurance world, actually with one of our carriers for the last 3 years. He did amazing, and he expressed a strong interest to come on to Sile. So we've been training him, and he lives down in Brickell in South Miami. And
Nice.
we thought this is the perfect person to run an office down there. You know, you've got loyalty. He's my son.
Right.
But this younger generation who's hungry
Mm.
for it, it's just, they're amazing, and they can learn so fast, much faster than I learned at my age. They're amazing. And so what's happened now is he's going down, I'm teaching him all the stuff that I do up here, and he's got a lot more to learn, but he is networking like crazy down there, and we're going to do some amazing stuff down there. As you know, there's some pretty big premiums and commercial accounts, so we'll probably end up having a nice profit center down there one day.
Hey, you have a good reason to go down to South Florida, right? A lot. That's
I
great.
definitely do. I go in, I have a little fun, eat some great food, and then I'm back in Orlando. But it's a
Nice.
great place to visit for sure.
That's awesome. And then lastly, and thank you again. And you've sponsored just recently, you sponsored a leadership development meeting that we had with Mr. John Morgan downtown, but you are just literally every day it appears. And I know you're just so involved in the community and giving back to charities, and we'll put a link below. I know you have later today, you and I are going to talk a little bit about your charitable events that you're involved in and organizations. But the big question is, how would someone get in touch with you if they wanted to, get either a client wise to talk with you about maybe comparing the coverage that they have currently, or a real estate agent for that matter that wants to partner with Sihle?
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So my cell is the best way to get a hold of me, which is 407-421-0424. We have the best commercial producers, I believe, in the state of Florida. So regardless of what type of commercial risk you're looking to insure, we typically will give it to whoever is really good in that area, for instance. So I've been getting a ton of commercial referrals lately, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And we're just having like probably the best year we've ever had this year. But yeah, they can contact me, and then what I can do is set them up with the proper agent.
Yeah.
So if it's group health, we've got a great group health guy. He does all the JetBlue account. He's also an advisor on Advent Health for 20 years. He's amazing. So he does large group health. And then we've got, like I said, 70 commercial producers throughout the state of Florida. And then our personal lines department, a lot of it's run through our Altamont Springs office. So I can assign an agent to quote your own home, boat, auto, whatever you need.
Wow.
But the great thing is you can have it all under one house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if you have a problem, you can contact me.
Yeah, there you go. I love it. That's like one-stop shop. It's awesome. Great. Yep. Well, much deserved success and continued success. And we'll talk with you soon. Thanks for taking the time. I know how busy you are.
Oh, thanks so much, Toby. I
All right.
appreciate it.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.